Hello everybody. Well, today I want to show you where I travelled with my husband at the weekend, and you can see from the map at point A that we started at Rotherham, and this pink line shows you how we travelled down England through the countryside and towns until we reached this point here marked by B, and this is Lincolnshire, so that's where we stopped. But part of what I want to do today as well is to look at some revision for you, because whilst I was away I know that you looked at using the words where and were. So if you look at the arrows, they're pointing to the first stop that we made at Worksop. And I might ask, where am I, if I'm just talking about myself? But because I was with somebody else, I could also use the question, where are we? So where, you'll remember, means in which place. So I want you to think about the WH where word as being about place. And taking a photograph out of the car window, you can see that I had no idea where I was. I wasn't driving, so I couldn't see any signs, and if somebody else asked me, they might ask, where are you? Well, I didn't know, so I would have to ask the driver, where are we? So that I could give an answer to the person who asked, where are you? I might also look out of the window and try to pinpoint something that I can see, but because there isn't anything there that I recognise, I might ask, where is this? Or where is it? That's a good use of the word where. So when we talk about something that's happening now at the moment, we're thinking about where we are now. So when we use the question that you were looking at, where are we? You can see at the end of that question, you can turn those two words around so that they say where we are. Where we are. Are you using the word where correctly? Remember, when you use where, you're talking about the place. So that's what I want you to think about for revision. In which place? I wonder if we took the meaning of the word and replaced the word where, whether it would work. Let's have a look. So first of all, where are we? If we're using where correctly, we're thinking about in which place. In which place are we? Yes, that would work, but remember that's very formal and we don't speak in that way when we're talking, so we wouldn't actually use that phrase today. We would say where. Where am I? How good is that part of the sentence? Yes, in which place am I? Where are you? In which place are you? Where is he? What am I asking there? In which place is he? So you can see that each time I ask this question, I'm expecting an answer that is a place. Where is she? In which place is she? Sometimes we ask, where is it? I ask this question a lot. Usually it's because I've put something somewhere in my secret place at home and I can't remember where it is. So I have to think to myself, where is it? In which place is it? So that's a very good question to be asking. So are you using where correctly when you're actually spelling the word? So to think about your spelling, I want you to think about the WH words used in questions. W-H-E-R-E, I might decide that I want to learn to spell it by using two sounds. WH is wa, and then the second sound is air. Where, if it helps to learn it that way, that's the way you can learn to spell the word where when it means place. Where, two sounds. Alternatively, you might want to think about the word where. You can see here that it has the word here inside it. That's very important because both those words are about place. So you could think about where and think about the word here, and in order to learn how to spell that word, you could learn to just say both of them are about place. So actually here is in the word where. Here. Where. So as long as you remember it, it doesn't matter which way you learn that spelling. So looking at the map again, once we travelled down to Lincolnshire, we then needed to do the second part of our travel. So you can see Spalding here and Holbeach. We followed the pink line, shows you where we travelled down to Diss. So we travelled from Lincolnshire to Norfolk, and we're still in England. And whilst we were there, I took this photograph and I posted it on Facebook. Oh look, Parry said, wow, nice photo. Thank you, Parry, for that comment. And Kate asked, where were you? That's an interesting question. Where were you? That question asks where you used to be. So it's in the past. So if I'd posted that picture and travelled on somewhere else, I'd be answering the question, where were you? Because as we know, were is used as the past tense of the verb are. That's what we're using in our questions today. Where were you? So we know that's talking about the past, somewhere we've already visited. But I hadn't actually moved on from that place. So I would have asked the question, where are we? If I was talking to somebody else, where are we? Because are is telling me it's in the present tense, it's happening now. And the answer might be, we are in Norfolk because we're still there. So looking at that picture again, where were you? I might talk about where we had been. I might still be there, so I might talk about where we are. So where were you? This question asks where you used to be in the past. So if I was answering the question as being in the past, something I'd already visited, I might say, we were in a village, and I might tell Kate when, yesterday. I might answer Kate, we were in a village a moment ago. That's a lovely phrase there, a moment ago. Or, we were at a country show. I might just say that. We were at a country show, to tell Kate place. But I might want to add a little bit of information and say when. So last week. We were at a country show last week. If the question's asked in the present tense, where are you? This question's about now. So I'm going to answer the question as though I'm still there. We are in a village. We are at a country show. Did you notice that when I answer the question in the present tense, I don't say now. I don't say we are in a village now. That would sound silly. So when I'm talking in the past, I often add some information about time, when it happened. When I'm talking about now, I've used the word are, and that tells my listener that I'm in the present tense, so I don't need any extra information for that. So looking back at the map, once we were on our return journey and we went from Norfolk up to Boston in Lincolnshire, we had to travel all the way back to Rotherham in South Yorkshire. And it was nice to be home. And just as a reminder, when we're talking about travel, Rania reminds us we use the word travel when we use a transportation. So the next work that we do on the video will be about the actual travel that we did. Thank you for listening. See you soon. Bye.